Control for me, please. Good evening. You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. The big political story tonight is the unprecedented showdown between the Kolkata Police and the CBI that has turned into a nasty fight between Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the centre just ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. Was the CBI justified in coming in to arrest or question the Police Commissioner of Kolkata without a warrant? Is this another attempt by the government at the centre to use agencies to settle political scores? Or should the Bengal government have been more cooperative with the agency's probe into the chit fund scam? Well, those are some of the questions we are looking to answer tonight as this battle has now reached the Supreme Court tomorrow. Now, these are the dramatic scenes from Kolkata, where Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has been on a dharna for over 24 hours now. She said that her dharna is to save the constitution. At the heart of the row is a chit fund scam, which is being investigated by the CBI after the Supreme Court transferred the case to the probe agency in 2014. Senior TMC leaders are accused in this case. The CBI says that they had repeatedly asked the Kolkata Police Commissioner to meet them because he was heading the earlier probe into this chit fund scam, but that he was refusing to actually come and meet them. So when they landed up at his home last night in Kolkata, all hell broke loose. The CBI officials were even detained by the Kolkata Police for some time and later released. The Trinamool Congress says the CBI has no business being there without the state government's permission. The matter will now be heard by the Supreme Court tomorrow morning. Several opposition leaders from Rahul Gandhi to Chandrababu Naidu, Arvind Kejriwal and Tejasvi Yadav have pledged their support to Mamata Banerjee. In fact, Tejasvi Yadav is sitting with her right now in Kolkata at the site of her dharna. So is the DMK's Kani Modi.
I am ready to give my life. I am ready to die. But I am not going to bow down to see the vandalism of Narendra Modi government. Western Bengal is an institution. Narendra Modi সরকার রাজনৈতিকভাবে সমস্ত কুক্ষিগত করার জন্য এক ধ্বংসাত্মক মনোবৃত্তি নিয়ে
कि कल जो भी घटनाएं हुई हैं वह एक तरीके से संवैधानिक व्यवस्थाओं के टूटने की ओर संकेत कर रही हैं। मैंने इस संबंध में पश्चिमी बंगाल के महामहिम राज्यपाल महोदय से भी चर्चा की है और राज्यपाल महोदय ने राज्य के चीफ सेक्रेटरी और डीजी पुलिस को बुलाया है।
Bengal BJP gathering the peoples from here, there and others. BJP is now the second force at Bengal and it will come to the first after 2019 Lok Sabha election.
केंद्र सरकार ने जो कुछ भी पश्चिम बंगाल में किया है वो बेहद खतरनाक है, संविधान के खिलाफ है, जनतंत्र के खिलाफ है।
Is the CBI at fault for trying to arrest the Kolkata Police Commissioner? Or, as the CBI alleges, it's a Trinamool Congress government guilty of hooliganism, literally dragging their officers to the police station. The CBI says they were acting under a 2014 Supreme Court order which asked the West Bengal government to cooperate in the probe in the Sarda chit fund scam. But lawyers for the West Bengal government say the Supreme Court order allowed the police officers to approach the High Court for relief. 3 police officers went to court and got a stay on their arrest. The court order, dated 6 December last year, pulls up the CBI for shoddy police work. The CBI claims they summoned the police chief under the law.
कि इंडियन CRPC के अंतर्गत इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग अथॉरिटी को यह पावर है कि 160 में वो किसी को भी बुलाए.
They say because the police chief did not turn up, the CBI turned up at his residence. But the West Bengal lawyers say that the police chief wrote multiple letters saying he was willing to cooperate and answer questions. So why land up at his house at night? The CBI claims they suspected that the Kolkata police chief, missing for 3 days, may abscond, and that's why the need for swift action without a warrant. Moreover, the CBI claimed that the police chief was trying to destroy evidence in the Sarda case. That did not appear to impress the Supreme Court. The court says there is no evidence that the Kolkata police is destroying evidence. Lay down evidence and we will come down so heavily that he will regret it. However, the ruling BJP denies the government is behind the action, singling out the evidence allegedly destroyed.
Or whether it is she wants to save herself. That is the moot question. Chit fund scamster in his testimony to CBI has said there is one red diary and there are pen drives which contain all information about the payment, about the money trail, about the influential people.
While there are questions on the CBI's actions, the way CBI's officers were dragged and detained and top cops sat on a dharna with the CM is also highly questionable. Tomorrow, all eyes will be on the Supreme Court, which will hear the matter at 10:30 a.m. In Kolkata with Saurabh Gupta, in New Delhi, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.
Well, what a 24 hours it's been. Joining us on NDTV this evening is Union Minister Babul Supriyo. Mr. Supriyo, thanks for joining us today. Let's just take a look at what the TMC and Mamata Banerjee are alleging here. They are saying that you should have had an arrest warrant or some kind of warrant before even coming to question the Kolkata Police Chief, that this is vendetta on the eve of elections, that suddenly the CBI woke up to the Sarda scam after all this time. What would you say to that?
Well, see, first things first. We were just on the television channel, in a different television channel, with a ex CBI joint director, and he very clearly said, as we also heard Ravi Shankar Prasad ji say, that the agency CBI do not need to get a warrant to go and search someone's place. Aise pravdhan hai, there is a provision where they can go and raid someone and later on give a submission to the court and justify why they did that. And here Rajeev Kumar has been, in spite of being an IPS officer, has been ignoring the summons that has been issued to him for 3 years, and the CBI had not been given any protection even when they were working in Bengal. In spite of the fact that the Supreme Court has repeatedly even told CBI in no uncertain terms that the investigation is taking too long, you need to speed up. Now tell me, Rajeev Kumar was the officer who was the head of the SIT that was formed by the Trinamool Congress by Mamata Banerjee, and who were the people who were arrested? BJP do not arrest them. BJP, if we take Mamata Banerjee's argument, then even if BJP asks the CBI to file FIRs and arrest these people, those needs to be substantiated and proved in the court of law, and then they're sent for judicial custody or to the jail. And 4 or 5 of Trinamool Congress MPs, they were sent to jail not by BJP but by CBI, but by the court. And trust me, one of the first MP who got arrested was Kunal Ghosh. And if you remember, there are several videos in the public domain where he has been, he said that all the money, all the 35,000, 40,000 crores of poor people's money that was siphoned off by the Trinamool Congress, netas and mantris hovering around Mamata Didi, if a proper investigation is done, it is going to lead into Mamata Banerjee's bedroom. That's what he said. He called her dacoit queen. And that's the reason, because he was saying all of those things where after he used to step down from the president van and reach the court, the Kolkata police shamelessly used to bang the police van to ensure that he doesn't get to say anything. So why is Rajeev Kumar trying to hide or run away from the CBI? And why is Mamata Banerjee trying to guard all of them? It is because she knows that all those documents that are lying with Rajeev Kumar, he being the chief of the SIT, if CBI gets it, then all our men and horses are going to be in severe trouble. So I don't know how BJP and Trinamool Congress is coming here, why she is doing a dharna, why all this natak. I have no idea. You may ask me about Mukul Roy.
What was it that prompted the CBI to do this at this particular point? Because this case was transferred to the CBI in 2014 by the Supreme Court, but it was not being monitored by the Supreme Court, but the case was ongoing. The police is citing an order of the High Court late last year which prevented any action from being taken against police officers in this case, and that they have a High Court order, a Calcutta High Court order citing that. So I think what the TMC is saying is that the timing of this is suspicious. Why has it suddenly re-emerged now, despite there being a High Court order as well?
This is an ongoing process, Nidhi, and if this is what a country is leading to, where every act of corruption that is being investigated is going to be attributed to political vendetta, then let's do something wherein, governments in power, chosen to power, is only going to take policy decisions or act against any kind of corruption till the 4th year. In the 5th year, they're just going to sit quiet. Governance is a continuous process. This CBI investigation is happening because the Supreme Court was not happy with what SIT under Rajeev Kumar was doing and shielding documents, shielding men and TMC netas. That's why Abdul Mannan, Congress neta, senior Congress neta, went to the Supreme Court. So this is a process which is ongoing since 2014. So where does the question of, and it is happening as per the orders of the Supreme Court. So where does the question of these High Court orders, these are all bahanas. An IPS officer, what kind of an example is he setting if he is not appearing to, if he is not responding to summons issued by the Supreme, by the CBI?
So can I also ask you?
When Narendra Modi ji was the acting chief, when he was the Chief Minister, sitting Chief Minister of Gujarat, he sat for interrogation for 10 hours. Nidhi, let's not forget that.
Okay.
Let's not forget that.
Let
so
me
if,
also
if
ask
there
you,
is
Mr.
nothing
Supriyo,
to hide, why is Mamata Banerjee shielding Rajeev Kumar? Because he has all the documents.
Okay, one of your very senior leaders in the party, Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, has actually said this evening that there is evidence in this scam against Mamata Banerjee's nephew and that the ED should investigate this. Can you elaborate on this?
Well, I cannot really comment on Mamata Banerjee's nephew because I did, I did come up with some, I did say a few things about him, and he went to court and he tried to get he got a gag order on me that I cannot talk about him in public. So I don't know why, a police officer is going to be shielded by the Chief Minister. Why in a political, FOE, in a freedom of expression country which promotes that, why gag orders are going to be produced? There were defamation cases filed against me. But what Kailash ji has said, I am sure a defamation case is going to be sent to him tomorrow. But that's true. Ask the people of West Bengal.
Okay,
Find out why all the Trinamool Congress netas are multi-billionaires, multi-millionaires. You will know. You will know.
You rightly mentioned that there were a number of senior Trinamool Congress leaders who have been to jail or who got bail or who have been accused in this chit fund scam over the years. And one of them who was accused was Mukul Roy, who is now part of the BJP. So what's happened to that investigation against Mukul Roy?
I know. Yeah. See, Nidhi, once again, I will quote Mamata Banerjee what she said when these investigations started in 2014. In one of the rallies, she said, Ami Chor, Mukul Chor, Sudip Chor, Kunal Chor. That she asked the question, am I a thief? Is Mukul a thief? Why? Because Mukul Roy was being interrogated. Mukul Roy joined BJP only a few months back. He was very much interrogated and several times, but the CBI did not find any evidence at that point of time to arrest him. And trust me, after that, not only did Mukul Roy, not only was Mukul Roy a MP of Trinamool Congress, but he was very much part of Trinamool Congress. He was investigated. If it so happened that after joining BJP, his name was taken away from any charge sheet, if the defense did not put a very strong argument in case of a bail hearing, then you can say that he has been shielded. But he was not shielded. If he was not shielded, he was interrogated several times. So why bring in this? If we are always going to talk about politics in such cases, what about those poor people who lost 35 to 40,000 crores? They do not want to see this natak of Mamata Banerjee happening there. There is a political motive behind Mamata Banerjee doing this. That, she is being portrayed as the leader of the Mahagathbandhan. That is, though a Mahagathbandhan does not exist, because as Nitiji said, Rahul Gandhi never mentioned anything about Mahagathbandhan.
But is it a coincidence, Babul Supriyo? We have a list here.
Exactly.
Of all the,
why are we forgetting that?
All
what
the
about
leaders,
those people?
political leaders who have been raided or have cases filed against them by various agencies in the last 4 years. And almost, I think pretty much, all of them are from the opposition. Is that a coincidence that the ED, the Income Tax Department, the CBI, they're only being used against the opposition?
Well, you see, Nidhi, one of the biggest reasons why the country backed BJP and gave Narendra Modi the huge mandate that he got was fight against corruption. Let's not be oblivious to the fact that if you type corrupt leaders of India, what are the names that come up? Let's not be oblivious of the fact that the people who are saying that they are standing by Mamata Banerjee, they are behind Mamata Banerjee, are either on bail or have gone to jail, or their kith and kin have been in jail, and they all have huge fraud cases against them. So this is a government which came into power with the mandate to fight corruption. Now there are false allegations about the Chokshis and about the others fleeing the country. They fled the country because they are scared that under this government they are going to be prosecuted. And earlier during the UPA government, they knew that if they went to certain people, they would be exonerated. And I would say that cage parrot was a term that was used by the Supreme Court for the UPA time CBI. I will say that parrot has been unleashed. That parrot has been unleashed. That parrot has been let go, and it is sitting on the right dials. It is sitting on the right dials, Nidhi.
All right, Babul Supriyo, thank you very much for giving us the centre's perspective.
That parrot has been let go, and they're sitting on the right dials.
All right, let's see what the Supreme Court does decide on this tomorrow. Thank you very much, Babul Supriyo, for joining us on NDTV.
And dal mein kuch kala bhi hai. Thank you. Pleasure.
I saw this when I was...
All right, well, joining us, that was Babul Supriyo, Union Minister, joining us a little earlier this evening. Well, we have Chandra Bose from the BJP joining us from Kolkata, Sagrika Ghosh joining us here in the studio. Mr. AP Singh, the former director of the CBI, is here. Mr. Dushyant Dave, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, and Jignesh Mevani, one of those political leaders who's spoken out very strongly in support of Mamata Banerjee, also joining us tonight. I'd like to ask Mr. AP Singh first that... let's just look at what happened last night. The CBI says it needed to question the Kolkata Police Commissioner in this case, that he is, as the CBI chief yesterday, Nageshwar Rao, said, a possible suspect also in this case. However, given that he's also the police commissioner of Kolkata, should this have been better handled in that the state government could have been given a call and told, look, we're coming? Could it have been handled differently? Or did they do the right thing?
No, I definitely think it could have been handled differently. First of all, yes, CBI does have a right to examine a person. They did not have any warrants or anything. If they wanted to examine, they could. They issued him some summons, apparently 2 or 3 summons, and he did not respond. So the correct procedure would have been to have gone to the Chief Secretary and the DG of Police, and even to the Chief Minister, and said that, listen, this officer is not cooperating, please issue him necessary instructions. And in case that did not work, then you could go to the court. You could go to the High Court or the Supreme Court. Like in many cases, I read in the papers today, high-profile accused are being told, who are wanted by ED and CBI, are being told by the courts to appear before these agencies on particular dates. So that could have been done. This has created an unnecessary confrontation between West Bengal Police and the CBI, which was, in my view, highly avoidable because there was no urgency. It was not as if they had to arrest the guy that day, or they had a target that by tomorrow morning you have to.
So unnecessarily ugly confrontation.
Yeah, you have built it up to that situation, and I would also sort of put some blame on the police commissioner. He could have easily, when they sent him summons, he could have appeared at any time, or he could have just written to them and said that, listen, I'm busy. You tell me and I'll come on a particular date, and that would have solved the problem. But going to his house and and you're putting your own staff at risk. That is the worst thing, because they're all civilians, and they come in civil clothes. The CBI, there'll be 4 or 5 inspectors or a DSP, and it's a police commissioner. He's a very powerful person. He's the head of the police force in that city, and you're trying to go into his personal residence. So obviously there will be a reaction. And if they've been manhandled, then you've really put your own staff at risk for no reason.
It was in any case a very ugly confrontation,
yeah,
which honestly
is dangerous.
Is dangerous, and it's the last thing one would want to see in a democracy.
Exactly.
Dushyant Dave, you heard what Mr. AP Singh said, the former director of the CBI there, saying that this certainly could have been handled differently by the CBI. Just also from a point of law, one of the arguments that the TMC is also making today is that there was no warrant that the CBI officers were carrying with them, that they had absolutely no right to come there, also because West Bengal is one of the states which has actually no longer given its consent to the CBI to operate in the state, although I think Supreme Court judgments in the past have said that if there are ongoing cases, then the state has to cooperate with the agency. Can you clear that up for us, where all of this stands as per the law?
See, first and foremost, I think we must appreciate that in a federal structure that we have, both the central and the state governments must respect each other, which means that every authority and every agency has to respect each other. You cannot have a situation like this where in an investigation which was transferred by the Supreme Court in 2014, and mind you, when Supreme Court transferred the case to CBI, Supreme Court has categorically appreciated the work done by the SIT of West Bengal, saying that they have filed proper FIRs, they had properly investigated, they had brought the real people to books, and they had filed proper charge sheets. But yet, to instill confidence in people who have suffered, we are transferring the case to the CBI. Now, 2014, if it is transferred, then, I mean, surely if the allegation against Mr. Rajeev Kumar is that as a SIT head, he had some evidence which was tampered with. Now, it can't be that from 2014 to Sunday evening of 2019, you have not, really taken any exercise or done any investigation in that regard. So I think it's really impossible to believe that they went bona fide, one. Two, you are seeing today in this government, unfortunately, that they like darkness. So at 2 o'clock in the night, the CBI director himself was removed by using the Delhi police and central paramilitary forces. Now you have therefore this kind of attitude on the part of this government, which really is extremely, I would say, unpleasant. It is unconscionable, and it really runs against a constitutional mechanism. Secondly, most important is CBI's objectivity. In cases, I mean, two judgments of the Supreme Court which categorically directed investigation by the CBI in Sohrabuddin and Prajapati murders. The CBI today has not even filed appeals against the acquittal of these accused, including Mr. Amit Shah. Now, what kind of an agency is this that it is only willing to run after the opposition leaders and not against the powerful leaders of the ruling party? So that really raises a serious question, and I feel that opposition is entirely correct in saying that CBI is an extremely partisan body, and that is the reason why this interim director was appointed from October to January to really attack the opposition.
Well, pretty strong words from you, Mr. Dave, and as I was pointing out to Babul Supriyo, all the political leaders who've had cases slapped against them in the past 5 years have all been opposition leaders, and that can't be just a coincidence. But and I take the point that you're making, Mr. Chandra Bose. Let me bring you in here then on this point, and the point that Mr. Dave made, which is an important one, is that not once have we heard the CBI then tell the Supreme Court, which ordered them to do this probe into this chit fund scam, at any point say, you know what, the police commissioner of Kolkata, who headed the SIT before this, is withholding evidence from us. You don't think that then that they would have approached the court and said that? Suddenly it's come up?
See, the suspicion arises from the body language and the fear psychosis that we find from the police commissioner, Rajeev Kumar's side, and even the Chief Minister. You see, the point is, what is this fear that the commissioner would be arrested? The CBI visited the house of the commissioner to talk to him, to interrogate him. It is the collective responsibility of the CBI and the police and the Kolkata Police and the West Bengal Police to resolve this massive scam, which so many people were, taken away of their wealth, and they were poor people. Now, the point that I would like to make, SIT was formed to resolve this issue, but somehow the SIT could not take this case to its logical conclusion. That is why it was referred to the Supreme Court of India. Now, the Supreme Court of India has instructed the CBI to investigate this matter. Yes, I must also admit that it should have been on a fast pace. There has been longer time taken to resolve it, but nevertheless, we have now come to a conclusion that certain people in the Calcutta Police, see, I don't talk just without evidence. We need to firm on the evidence whether the Commissioner of Police has got something to hide. Now, there is a red book.
May I just interrupt? When you say we,
which is missing,
is that a Freudian slip?
Has the crucial
Are you working
data,
with the CBI? Mr. Bose, who is we? Who is we, Mr. Bose? I'm sorry, but may I ask you that it is the CBI that has to determine evidence based on evidence, not on body language and fear psychosis. How do you know what body language means? I mean, it's not the CBI they're not psychoanalysts. I mean, so you know, what is the evidence that they have that the police commissioner is hiding something? Why was that not then presented to the court earlier?
Hang on. Yes, CBI. Right. CBI obviously has to provide the hard evidence in the Supreme Court. That is a fact. They have to provide. And I'm absolutely sure the Central Bureau of Investigation, they are one of the premier investigative agencies in the country. They have evidence. They won't provide the evidence tomorrow. Let's wait till tomorrow. But the point is, why make this issue a political issue? Today, Mamata Banerjee is sitting on dharna at the Metro channel. That's not the point. We are diverting, we are digressing from the main subject of corruption. Serious corruption charges are leveled against Trinamool Congress leaders. It is not only in West Bengal, this spreads to Odisha.
Okay, let me just ask Jignesh Mevani, because
so let's take a holistic
he's one of the opposition leaders who strongly come out in Mamata Banerjee's support on this.
It was the responsibility of the Commissioner of Police to resolve this along with the CBI.
Jignesh Mevani, the former CBI director, Mr. AP Singh, made a point as well, in addition to criticizing the way the CBI conducted this, that the Kolkata Police Commissioner should also have not let the situation come to this point. अगर उन्हें summons मिला था बात करने के लिए तो बात कर लेते CBI से, क्या प्रॉब्लम थी?
देखिए, सबसे खतरनाक बात ये है, with every passing day, all our democratic institutions are losing their credibility. CBI is undoubtedly one of them. जैसा कि दवे साहब ने अभी कहा कि सोहराबुद्दीन और तुलसीराम प्रजापति मामले में जिन लोगों की एक्विटल हो गई, उनमें ये लोग अपील भी फाइल करने को तैयार नहीं, क्योंकि अक्यूज्ड भाजपा के करीबी दोस्त है, क्योंकि वन ऑफ द अक्यूज्ड अमित शाह है। ये बात के साथ ये भी मैं जोड़ना चाहता हूं, यदि सचमुच ये जो चीट फंड के विक्टिम्स को पैसा वापस करने की कंसर्न जो भाजपा के प्रवक्ता भी दिखा रहे हैं, मैं एक एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगा। पल्स एग्रो कॉर्पोरेशन लिमिटेड PACL नाम की कंपनी के खिलाफ 2016 के फरवरी की 2 तारीख को एपेक्स कोर्ट ने यह स्पेसिफिक कैटेगोरिकल ऑर्डर दिया है कि उनकी सारी प्रॉपर्टी की नीलामी करो, उनकी सारी एसेट्स का ऑक्शन करो, और जिन 6.25 करोड़ लोगों को यह PACL नाम की कंपनी ने लूटा है, इन 6.25 करोड़ लोगों का एक एक पैसा वापस करो। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी और उनकी सरकार उनकी एक प्रॉपर्टी की नीलामी करने को तैयार नहीं है। यदि इस कंपनी की सारी प्रॉपर्टी की नीलामी होती है तो अमाउंट विल गो अराउंड 1.86 लाख करोड़। जिन 6.25 करोड़ लोगों को पैसा वापस करना है वो अमाउंट होती है 49,000 करोड़। तो करोड़ा नीलामी, क्यों पैसा वापस नहीं कर रहे हो? आप तो विदेश से काला धन लाने वाले थे। अरे यहां के जो चोर जनता को लूट रहे हैं, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर है कि इनकी प्रॉपर्टी की नीलामी करके पैसा वापस करो, तो दो ना पैसा। ये आपकी कंसर्न है। गुजरात में 3 डजन से ज्यादा ये मल्टीलेवल मार्केटिंग कंपनियों ने लाखों लोगों को लूटा है, एक FIR नहीं हुआ है। पिछले 4.5 साल के दौरान 300 से ज्यादा कंपनियां हैं जिन चीट फंड कंपनियों ने लाखों करोड़ों लोगों को लूटा है। मोदी जी की सरकार ने एक FIR नहीं किया है। ये जो भी कंसर्न दिखा रहे हैं ना, पूरा फेक है।
Jignesh Mevani, you're making an important point. I'm really sorry. I just have to break in with some news that we're just getting in. I need to, and I will ask our panel to react to this as well. The UK's Home Secretary has just approved Vijay Mallya's extradition to India. This has just been signed off by the government of the UK, and Vijay Mallya now has 14 days to appeal this in a higher court. There is an appeals process there, but this is a big shot in the arm for India. The UK Home Secretary giving the go-ahead for Vijay Mallya's extradition to India. That news is just breaking out of London as we speak. A big development there, but as we said, the caveat being that he does have the option of appealing to a higher court. Sunetra Chaudhary joining us on that breaking story as we speak. Sunetra, what happens from here then? I mean, does this mean that we can actually see him in India soon, or that it will still take more time?
Well, it will take more time because there are at least one major higher court, and then there is a European Court of Appeal as well. And knowing Vijay Mallya and these kind of extradition cases, we can expect them to exhaust all of them before they give up and they're brought back as well. But India knows they're in it for the long haul, and what the good news for India is that all of these cases have a set time limit. So we'll have a really good idea about when he's going to come back. The interesting thing is that this was always going to be while the court, you would recall last year in December was the day when we had the final date of order, and while the judiciary had given the go-ahead, this was always going to be a political decision. So the fact that the Home Secretary has given the go-ahead means that the judiciary in the UK and the court and the political system, they're both on the same page, and they both favor Vijay Mallya coming back. And so that is the good news for India, because that means that because otherwise we've seen in previous cases as well, the political system, the government sometimes has the power to say no, and in this particular one the order was very clear. They said that it was a fit case for extradition. However, they said that it was Home Secretary had to take the final call. And now we see the Home Secretary announce the final call that Vijay Mallya should be extradited. Of course, he now has 14 days. We have to see exactly what he appeals, because a lot of the grounds that he had of saying that the RK Asthana and others were problematic, that the officers wanted him for the wrong reasons, that he was facing corruption charges himself, all of that has now been not been upheld by the courts at all. So we have to wait and see exactly what he cites in his appeal. He has 14 days, but for now India can celebrate the fact, and CBI, which is facing such a crisis of credibility, can celebrate the fact that they've had a major victory in an international court.
Sunetra, thanks very much for that. In fact, we're going to try and get some more background, on the case for our viewers on what exactly is at stake. And we're so fortunate to have Mr. AP Singh here in the studio with us on this day. How big a development is this, sir? The fact that the UK Home Secretary has signed off on Vijay Mallya's extradition.
Nidhi, it's a big development, but this is the beginning of this whole extradition process. Yeah, because this is the lowest court, and then you have the Home Secretary, and then you have a High Court, and then you have a Supreme Court in England, and then if you're still, if you've not Brexited, then you have the European Court of Human Rights. And we faced this I remember in this, we were extraditing Kim Davies from Denmark. Yeah. And the court said yes, and Kim Davies himself said that I've deposited all these arms in Purulia, but I don't want to go back because the human rights conditions in India are terrible. I'll be killed, I'll be murdered, I'll be tortured. And the court only said that no, he won't be extradited because of human rights conditions, not because of whether he committed the crime or not. But in this case, it's slightly different, like Vijay Mallya is basically an Indian citizen. That was a Danish citizen. So maybe there's a little difference. So this may be a faster process because it's in India. So an important
development, as you said, but also, as you point out, a beginning of a long extradition process.
This is a process.
Let me just get a quick reaction from everyone on that, because this is, Sagrika Ghosh, also a big political story in India. And that's one of the things the Modi government has made sort of central to everything, that, we're bringing the bad guys back. You just heard Babul Supriyo saying a similar thing there. How do you look at, this development today?
It's the political messaging, Nidhi. This government is increasingly a government which is looking to hit every opportunity for a six. So whether it's the budget, whether it's farmers, whether it's quota for economically backward, now it's bringing the bad guys back. It's war on corruption. And just to take off from Mr. Chandra Bose, he was saying that why bring politics into it? This is law and order, and this is the rule of law. But of course, this is all politics. Let's not be disingenuous. This is an election year. This is political positioning. This is political grandstanding. And I think everything about Vijay Mallya, of course, the process has been going on and the legal case has been tortuous and it's been going on. But it's again all about political messaging in a poll year.
Dushyant Dave, quick first reaction from you. In fact, as Mr. AP Singh said, it could take quite a bit of time. Sunetra's pointing out it could take, anywhere from a minimum of 6 to 8 months if, Mallya actually ends up losing those appeals.
I find it extremely amusing And I find it very surprising that you people in media have not really followed up with my statements. 2 days before Mallya fled India, I was consulted, and this is on record, by the State Bank of India. And I advised them on a Sunday evening that tomorrow morning we must mention the matter before Chief Justice Thakur's court in Supreme Court and get a restraint order against Mr. Mallya leaving. Mr. Mallya fled. I brought this fact to the knowledge of the highest authority in the government, and they never reacted to it. So I find this whole exercise extremely amusing, that the government of India is spending tens of crores of rupees in bringing back Mr. Mallya while he was actually allowed to leave this country in connivance with the highest officials of the government. So to my mind, this is really, I think, nothing but a cruel joke.
Well, as usual, Mr. Dave, you don't mince your words. Mr. Bose, as a leader of the BJP, your first reactions to this development today and Mr. Dave's rather stinging criticism?
See, the NDA government under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji is committed to ensure that the corrupt, they are punished. This is a victory for the NDA government. Of course, this is the first step. We need to complete the cycle. I am sure we will complete the cycle, and Vijay Mallya before long is brought back to the country for a proper trial.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't have been allowed to go in the first place, but that's another story. Let me turn again to Derek O'Brien now, who's joining us, senior leader of the Trinamool Congress, member of Parliament. Again, we stay with the news of the CBI, but this time in the context of Bengal. Derek O'Brien, let's first talk about the argument that the TMC is making that what the CBI did in Kolkata last night was illegal, and that they needed a warrant to even go and question the CBI director. Firstly, may I ask, as far as Mamata Banerjee's dharna is concerned, what is it going to take for her to end that dharna? What is the end game here?
The dharna will end when it has to end. Don't forget, 4th of December to 29th of December 2006, the same Mamata Banerjee went on a hunger strike unto death for Singood, for the sake of the farmers and the agricultural land. That was in 2006. And then everyone disagreed with her. And then you know what the Supreme Court said many years later. To answer this question, the kind of response from the people of India, not only Bengal, from the 22, 23 political parties, the heads who've reached out to her, they all spoke to her last night. They've all tweeted their support or given out statements on television. And from today, there are people who are flying down as we speak to Kolkata. This is not about Mamata Banerjee and Trinamool. This is about a much bigger issue. This is when 23 opposition parties who have about 62% of the vote in the last election have come together to save democracy, to save our constitution, to save our institutions, and to save federalism. This is the bigger issue. And there's great unity, not only in Parliament, not only at the Dharna site, but across the board. And what you will see in the next few days and the next few weeks as we build up to the election, you will see how this cohesive force start working together to make it possible that 2019 BJP finish. Or you can say Modi or BJP hatao, Desh bachao. That's the focus.
Okay, Derek.
And we want to be very focused because on only 3 points. 1 is jobs.
Okay.
2 is agriculture. Mustn't forget jobs. Where are the jobs? 2 is agriculture. And 3, why are you killing and destroying the institutions?
So Derek, Arun Jaitley
brought it down to zero credibility.
Arun Jaitley has just tweeted just now. You must have heard that the UK Home Secretary has signed off on Vijay Mallya's extradition. And he has a right to appeal, so this is going to take some time. But Arun Jaitley has just tweeted that the Modi government clears one more step to get Mallya extradited while the opposition rallies around the Sarda scamsters. Your response to that?
Well, firstly, at a personal level, I certainly want to wish Mr. Arun Jaitley well. May he get well soon and may he resume his duties here in Delhi. That's at the personal level. Now, look who's talking about scams and scamsters. The grandfathers of scams, the grandfathers of corruption, they are the big daddies of corruption. Who are they? Amit Shah and Modi. They are the grandfathers of corruption. Demonetization was not only the biggest scam in India or the biggest scam in Asia, it is the biggest scam in the century. You look at demonetization, that was a scam. Proven scam. There are so many others. We can go into Vyapam, we can go into Rafale. If you go onto the Trinamool website tomorrow, we'll give you a list, literally a list, the A to Z of scams. So please, don't teach your grandmother to suck eggs, as they say. The biggest scamsters in the world are the BJP, but they pretend as if they are the angels of virtue. So I don't need to react to one tweet, two tweets, and when you so this is the issue of corruption, this is the kind of narrative they're trying to make. They don't have any more answers. They're scamsters. 15 lakhs they'll put into your bank account. Nothing happened. Okay, so please don't tell us about demonetization, Rafale, Vyapam, A to Z of scams. You go to the Trinamool website, we'll put up a special one on A to Z. So please don't lecture us about scams.
Okay, Derek, 1 second. Now, just going back to what happened in Kolkata. One very simple question people have is that if the police commissioner was getting summons to speak to the CBI, why didn't he just go and speak to them?
Of course he wanted to speak to them. But Ajit Doval was leaking to the media in Delhi. I picked up my phone because I'm looking for Prashant Bhushan's tweets. Ajit Doval was leaking to the media in Delhi that the police commissioner had disappeared for 3 days. He hadn't disappeared anywhere. He hadn't disappeared anywhere. Now I found Prashant Bhushan's tweets. Listen to this. Listen to this. The CBI issued notices in the notice of 30th November. The notice was dated 30th of November. They asked the person to appear on the 6th of November. Another notice was dated on the 12th of December. And when should you appear? On the 10th of December. You know, everybody knows. You know, the CBI has zero credibility. This is CBI in Wonderland. Everybody knows it's a political tool used by this Jumla Jodi of Shah and Modi. Shah and Modi might try as they want. The people of Bengal have made up their minds, and the kind of opposition unity I've seen. What is the problem? 19th of January is the problem. What happened on 19th of January?
You had the big opposition
40
meeting.
lakh people and everybody together in Calcutta on stage. After that, last week there was another all opposition parties got together.
But Derek, I have another question for you. This is very important as well.
Everybody was there.
You know, the fact that, you know, we have these scenes today of the police commissioner, other police officers, you know, literally sharing a political stage with the chief minister. I mean, is that appropriate?
No.
Is that not inappropriate?
No,
should
let me clarify.
the police be sort of now mixed
Good
up with the political executive?
Good question.
Yes.
Good question. Good question, Nidhi. I'm so happy you asked this question. It is not a political stage. There is not a single Trinamool logo or flag on that stage. I'm glad you asked the question. This is the Chief Minister of a state of India standing by her state administration, giving a message to the other state administrations as an elected Chief Minister. She's showing solidarity with the state administration, whether they be IS officers, IPS officers, all officers, saying, listen, I'm the elected Chief Minister, I'm with you. If some banana republic, Jumla Jodi, send people in there, I'm with you. This is a message for federalism. Don't mete out any trash to us from Delhi. We will not accept that. So it is not a political stage. It is not. Check the visuals there. It is a stage where the Chief Minister is showing solidarity with the state administration to save the state, to save federalism, to save the constitution. And the bigger picture is, this is not the India we want.
Yeah, but you can't say it's not a political stage. I mean, she's not a Girl Scout, you know. I mean, you know, she's Mamata Banerjee, you know, the Chief Minister of Bengal. It's very much a political stage.
I was reacting to you.
It is a political stage.
I was reacting to you because you were saying, please understand. When you said political, because you were asking me about the first 45 minutes when some police officers, the police officers were sitting there. Now the political leaders are going there. But I'm trying to make a distinction between saying it's a political stage The stage is actually Save India. It's a much bigger. It's not about Trinamool winning an election. We'll win the election, so very good. It's not about Trinamool winning 42 seats in Bengal. It's not about Mamata Banerjee sending 42 MPs to parliament. The issue is much bigger. The time has come in this country to stand up and be counted, because Amit Shah and Modi are ruining every institution. Do you know you can have a separate debate on how they are ruining parliament? Bills are not scrutinized.
We will have a separate debate
Bills
on that.
are passed. 20% of bills are scrutinized.
Okay,
that's
Derek,
another debate.
Derek,
But the
Derek,
bottom line is, I want to use this opportunity.
You're saying that it's a bigger thing. You're saying it's a bigger goal here.
I want to use this opportunity.
So what will it take for Mamata Banerjee to end the
bigger goal
dharna?
is,
because your institutions ain't going to be saved tomorrow, right? So what is the, I mean, what's going to get her to say, okay,
today is what?
The dharna's over.
Today
is Tuesday, I think, isn't it? Monday. Yeah.
Today is what?
Oh, sorry, today is Monday.
Somebody was spinning a rumor in
Tuesday.
Delhi that today is only Monday. Today is only
Sadly.
Monday. Mamata Banerjee is a leader for the sake of farmers and the sake of rights of people who lost their land. 26-day hunger strike. Compared to the 26-day hunger, this is only the second day of a dharna when she's not even on hunger strike. When Mamata Banerjee, I've known her for many years. She has conviction.
That's true.
Now that conviction has rubbed off. She had conviction on demonetization. She had conviction that GST was good but bad implementation. She had conviction on so many issues.
So you're making it clear that this is something that could really go on. All right, Derek O'Brien, I have to leave it there. Thank you for joining us tonight with your perspective on this story. Let me get a quick comment from Sagarika Ghosh on this, because we haven't touched upon this yet. But the sort of political messaging that did go out with all these political leaders, even Rahul Gandhi had to call up Mamata Banerjee and say, hey, I support you. Yet, you can sense an obvious discomfort as well within the opposition ranks on how far to go with this. So what is this development of the last 24 hours?
I mean, that's very well put. I mean, it's really a battle for political positioning. The fact is, Mamata Banerjee, love her or hate her, is an extremely astute politician. And she has her antennae right on the ground. She's a mass leader. She knows that perhaps there's a little bit of drift towards the BJP in Bengal. The Prime Minister has been holding these huge rallies. The BJP's been upping its vote share. So this ham-handed, terrible optics move by the CBI is actually a great political opportunity for her. And she's used it, she's seized it to up the political ante and to show that she's the one with the stomach for a fight. That among the gaggle of opposition leaders, she's the one who's actually going into the lion's den, and it's Mamata versus Modi. Now remember, she doesn't want to ally with the Congress. She doesn't want to have any alliances in Bengal because she wants to be Mamata versus the rest. She wants to be, because that's what happened in 2016 assembly elections. She won because the opposition to her was split between left and Congress. So she doesn't want to ally with the Congress actually. Nor is, I'm sure, the Congress comfortable with her leading the Mahagathbandhan. But this is an opportunity for her to demonstrate that she's the one with the stomach for a fight and become the magnet of this anti-Modi alliance. Because, she's repeatedly emphasizing me versus Modi, Mamata versus Modi, it's Bengal versus centre. And she's actually playing the anti-Delhi rhetoric, the Delhi as enemy slogan that the left had used for so many years. So big opportunity for Mamata Banerjee for political positioning. It's a battle for political positioning, because remember, the Trinamool gets 30 seats in Bengal. It becomes a big kingmaker in 2019.
After UP and Bihar,
it becomes a big state, and
the most
the BJP is seeing Bengal as the next state.
I would like to thank all of you very much. I'm out of time, and I'd like to really appreciate the fact that all of you were very good sports in the middle of breaking news, also to give us quick comments on the Malia story as well. So thank you very much for coming in. We've not heard the last word on the Bengal story. Tomorrow there is a hearing in the Supreme Court. There may not be an outcome, but we'll have to see what the Chief Justice of India says. When we come back after this break, we'll bring you a quick update on the Vijay Malia story. Do stay with us.